What's going on, everyone? Scotty White of World Combat Sports. Welcome to the broadcast once again. Hey, we getting down to the final hours. Let me cut this down. We're getting down to the final hours of WILDER-FURY2. The weigh-ins are tomorrow, 6 o'clock, and you have to put that at West Coast time, of course. But the weigh-ins is finally going down. This is what we've been waiting on. Get closer and closer to the fight. What I do want to tell those who tuning in, though, I will be providing live commentary for those of you that want to tune into the channel tomorrow. Of course, we're going to talk it out. There's an exciting fights on the undercard, like I talked about yesterday. We have Sebastian Fundora going in there against Daniel Lewis. Sebastian Fundora is 13-0 and 1. He's going there against Daniel Lewis, who's 6-0. And then you have Emmanuel Navarrete. Come on, 30-1, 28 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? He's going in there against Leo Santismio, 19-2. It's going to be a damn good fight night. And then, of course, you have Deontay Wilder, 42-0, 41 knockouts in there against Tyson Fury. And see, Tyson Fury, he's been acting a complete fool this week, but he's selling a fight. That's the way it's supposed to be, man. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. You can't really blame him for selling the fight, but it's been interesting. Dion Washington, what's good? Salute to you, man. Always a pleasure having Tuscaloosa on Dion Washington on deck. Of course, his hometown fighter is stepping into the square this weekend, February 22nd. Order the PPV. I will be having a fight live stream party here, World Combat Sports YouTube channel. It's going to be absolutely lit, as always. But I want to get the fans' perspective on what's been going on. Everybody's talking about the push. Look, me dealing with boxing and MMA, I have to educate some of you on what exactly happened with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. The push that's causing people to freaking lose their mind, causing them to say, oh, Deontay Wilder's too light. Tyson Fury pushed him no problem, and he went back 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet. You know what I'm saying? They just coming up with all this nonsense about a simple push. Listen, it's a difference if you look at the way Deontay Wilder put his hands up under Tyson Fury armpits. That is more so of a control grab to say, listen, it's a control grab, something you may do to de-escalate a situation. Let somebody feel how strong you are, but you're not going to really push them. You can shove them off, but you're not going to get the full velocity of the freaking push, the full momentum like you would think. So that's exactly what he did. He put his hand up on Tyson Fury's, armpits, and he kind of shoved him off. You're talking about a 270 pound. If he's coming in at 19 stone or whatever, you're talking about a big dude. To push like that, he ain't going nowhere. But listen, Tyson Fury walked towards Deontay Wilder. He had momentum, not the fact that Deontay Wilder was standing there while Tyson Fury was walking to his face like he was about to put head to head, put his forehead head to head. He was walking towards and Deontay Wilder had to push him off, so his hands was up on his armpit. Now check this out. When Tyson Fury was walking over to Deontay Wilder with forward momentum, he shoved him, palms to chest, and that's why it looked a bit more aggressive than people are talking about. It's not a big deal. I mean, Deontay Wilder has basically been underweight, undersized majority of the time he's been competing on the highest level in the sport. That's real. So you shouldn't take too much emphasis and put that, Tyson Fury pushed Deontay Wilder, he went flying back 50 feet. No. It's how they did. If you understand how grappling works, if you understand how wrestling or de-escalating a situation or something like that, you understand the way Tyson Fury was grabbed, you're not going to really do any damage. That's more of a control, clinch, come to me type of freaking grab that Deontay Wilder gave Fury. Like, get off me, you're too close. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to get too much of the exaggerated momentum that you would think by placing your hands under somebody's armpit. You know what I'm saying? But Tyson Fury allows himself to return about 4 to 5 feet out, walk towards Deontay Wilder with momentum, and shove him palm to chest. Of course he's going to move him. Of course. You know what I'm saying? So don't think too much of it, y'all. Don't think too much of it. But what I would tell you is close. You know what I'm saying? We within 48 hours, of course. It's going down. I'm pretty sure Vegas is absolutely lit. GB Boxing said the pushing and shoving is over. Hands are thrown on Saturday. I can't wait. You ain't never lied. Hey, what Bun B said. What he said on that song, no more pushing, it's time for shoving. You know what I'm saying? He said, no more pushing, it's time for shoving. Hey, he right, man. It's time is over. All the talk is over. You know, I wanna say for this fight in general, I'm glad that finally Tyson Fury was able to come back. He didn't take the immediate rematch, but he was able to come back. And this seems like the perfect time for the rematch, to be honest with you. This seems like that time. You know, it seems like the perfect time. You know, it's not too close to a holiday. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it allows people to travel. It's not any big fights coming up that's going to conflict with this fight date. There's a lot of pluses that's with this fight date that's going to make it that more productive when it comes to the views and how many people are tuning in. Because who's going to compete with this fight this weekend? You know, I'm finishing up an article where I was talking about the masterminds behind this fight. The people who made this fight on this specific day. Who is it competing with? Who are we competing with? You know what I'm saying? Who is the fight competing with for views? It's going to be solo dolo. But yeah, I just can't wait, man. Both fighters, they don't have a lot to prove to the boxing world because both of them are champions, you know, have been champions. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying are because Tyson Fury is still going around here claiming the lineal championship. Deontay Wilder is actively the WBC crown holder, you know, going in there for his 11th defense. You got to give it up for him. Right now, he's in the company of some greats, Ali and respective. But if he get this, you know, this 11th defense out the way, he will separate himself even further in the heavyweight and in boxing history. So that's good news, man. That's good news. You know, I was listening. I'm going to go through a little presser. I'm going to give you some bites of the undercard presser today. I want to read some of the comments that some of the fighters you may not know. But, you know, it ain't just about Wilder and Fury. There are other fighters that's on the card. And I hear callers, you know, that'll call in to certain media outlets. And they say, I don't give a F about, you know, everybody else is fighting on the card. All I care about is Wilder Fury. Then, you know, you're a boxing casual then. You know, you're absolute boxing casual. We got to show love to them boxers that's on the undercard, man. Let me pull this up right quick and give you some quotes from some of the fighters that's on the undercard. Charles Martin, he's on the undercard. And I'm just going to read this expeditiously. He said, I can't wait for this. And, you know, first of all, Charles Martin is fighting Gerald Washington. So this is from Charles Martin. I can't wait for this. I'm not letting this get to me. I'm just here to work. I grew up and I am more mature. I'm ready to take on the heavyweight division. My prediction is that I'm going to stop him in 4. This is going to get me another good spot, and it'll put me on the way to get my heavyweight title back. If you don't know, Charles Martin had the IBF heavyweight champion at one point. He said, this fight is coming at a great time in my career, and I feel ready for Saturday. We hope that is true, because he just came off a loss not too long ago, last year, I believe, against Andy Konoski. It's a blessing to be in the position. My whole family is going to show up, and we're excited. My cousin is even going to walk me out to the ring. We're excited to be a part of this big card. Me and Washington sparred a while back, but you have to remember that some people are gym fighters, and some perform when the lights are bright. Personally, my sparring has nothing to do with how I perform when it's go time. And those are the intricate points that I like to bring up with these fighters that's on the undercard, because people seem to act like they're not important. Let's get to Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington is a common opponent. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder. He said, I'm very excited. We put together a great training camp. I went around the world. I went to London to work with Derek Chisora, and I went to Saudi Arabia and work with Andy Ruiz. I brought a great team, and we just ready to go to work. I was unable to turn myself into Gerald Washington 2.0. He said, I was able to turn myself into Gerald Washington 2.0. I've always had the physical part down. I always work hard and train well, but it's the mental side that you need to put together to be a complete fighter. That's where I'm at now. I have a great group of people around me. Those who know boxing know that it's hard, and everyone goes through their own demons. I took a loss and it didn't go my way, but to be able to pick yourself up and keep going, and you build that strength, you become a new person. And I'm carrying all that with me. I know that loss felt like I'm on a personal mission for me to complete my goals. We are locked in mentally. I did everything to prepare myself for this fight. We are in great shape physically and mentally. I know Martin well, and he's a hard-working fighter. He's a hard-working fighter. We will be cool before the fight, and we'll be cool after the fight. But we are fighting for a title eliminator, and we both want the same thing. It is going to be a good, tough fight. He is going to be tough, and it is going to be an exciting fight. Hey, that if you don't, understand how important that is, between a little bit of backstory between these two, sparring together, actually being pretty cordial, amongst friends. You know what I'm saying? Having a respectable friendship between one another. And that's some of the insight that casual boxing fans may not know, because they don't care. They may know one intricate part, that Charles Martin, he's stepping in here to the ring, okay, and they don't know too much about him. They don't know who has a history with. They don't know his background, how long he held the IBF title. And Gerald Washington, his sports background, they may not know. You know what I'm saying? He used to be a football player. Let me get to my man, Emmanuel Navarrete. Like I said yesterday, the man came into sport February 2012. You know what I'm saying? His last 14 fights, he's 13-1, y'all. 13 knockouts, 1 decision. And that decision was against Isaac Dogbe. Dude is the truth, man. He's the truth. The super bantamweight champion, man. He's the truth. Let's see what Emmanuel Navarrete said. He said, I always say yes to a fight, even though I've been fighting quickly, fight after fight. And that goes back to what I was saying yesterday, how he stepped in there against Francisco de Vaca, and that was August, of 2019. And then September, Luis Elorde, he stepped in there just a month after. And then December 2019, he's in there against Francisco Horta. So he had such a quick turnaround when he was making those fights. But anyway, back to the quote. I always say yes to fights, even though I've been fighting quickly. This is how they quote it: fighting quickly, fight after fight. And I've always come out with good health. That makes me ready for the next fight that comes up. I think my next fight will depend on Saturday's results. I do think it's more convenient and realistic to move up in weight than to wait for a unification fight. Preparation for this fight has been excellent. This is another great opportunity that's been given to me, and I would demonstrate once again that I'm the best 122 pounder. I'm going for another knockout victory, and after that, I would like to unify. If that doesn't happen, I'll probably move up to challenge the champions at featherweight. That'll be interesting. We all know who at featherweight. Don't you play? We all know who at featherweight. I'm gonna tell you right now. Look it up. He's talking about moving to featherweight. Come on, man. I want to be a global superstar for the sport of boxing, and I'm on my way. I draw inspiration from the other iconic fighters, being Mexican and Filipino fighters. They have taken place right here. We're going to touch back on that too, especially Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez is going to help me put on another good performance on Saturday. You hear Filipino and Mexican fighters always reflecting back on fighters that they admire or some that they may be inspired by, right? There's nothing wrong with that if they're your same ethnicity. You know, when you hear black fighters say, well, I want to be like that fighter, people always believe they got to be like somebody other than another black fighter, you know, for it to make it true and you know, by the honor system, so to speak. You hear Mexican and Filipino fighters say it all the time. I want to be like so-and-so. You know, I want to be like Roberto Duran, Julio Cesar Chavez. Those are fighters I want to be like. You hear it all the time. And Emmanuel Navarrete said, you know, he draw inspiration from other iconic fighters such as Mexican and Filipino. There's nothing wrong with that. Joel Santismia. I'm very excited, and I had a really good camp. We're ready to put together a great performance and achieve my dream of winning a world title. I'm going to be like Manny Pacquiao. Here's another Filipino fighter. Joel Santismia is Philippine. He's Filipino. I'm going to be like Manny Pacquiao and win a world title in my first fight in the U.S. His first fight in the U.S. This is what I'm talking about, those nuggets that you may not know about these fighters just because they're not a popular name. Achieving that is huge motivation for me. It's an opportunity I'm going to take advantage of. Moving on. Give me a minute. Okay, next. And you have any comments, just not drop them below. I'll definitely get to them when I conclude these comments. Next is the Eiffel Tower assassin himself, Sebastian Fundora. He said, I walk around it this way. I came to Las Vegas 157. I don't know exactly how it's so easy, but I make the weight easily, and I'm going to be in the division for a while. He's telling you he's going to be in the division for a while. Come on, man. We have different strategies for a different fight. Whatever the fight presents and whatever my opponent brings, we're ready. I believe the fight is going to be very entertaining. I'm coming for the knockout. Expect a great fight and exciting action. We won't disappoint. I'm going to be on the card. I'm excited to be on the card like this. It's another great step for me with the real challenge against a good undefeated fighter. I'm going to bring the fight to him. I believe it. Just like Emmanuel Navarrete, Sebastian Fundora, I believe it. I've seen it. We've seen him take the fight with Donnie Marshall. Donnie Marshall fought, though. Donnie Marshall is he's not a slouch. Donnie Marshall tried to fight Fundora on the inside. It wasn't the right game plan. Daniel Lewis, the opponent of Sebastian Fundora, he's 6-0 heading to this fight. Yesterday they was talking about, experience. Sebastian Fundora, yeah, he has 13 fights, and half of that, 50% is that, so to speak, is Daniel Lewis. He said, we're just ready to fight. We will fight them all, and we will fight the best. We fought in Los Angeles in November, got the win there, and now we have another opportunity to get a good win. That's what we're going to do. Working with Terrence Crawford. See, Daniel Lewis is working with Terrence Crawford. They're working with Terrence Crawford was another great opportunity that we took on. Getting into camp with him was amazing. He has such high spirits and is so fast. He is hard to hit. It was a great experience early in my career. I'm very grateful for such a big opportunity. We're here to make a great fight and put on a good show for everyone watching. Hey, there you go. That gives you a little bit more association to bridge the gap on who you can link him up to. You know what I'm saying? Who he's been getting work from, what gyms he's been frequenting. You know, that's all why I like reading these quotes from these fighters. Rolando Romero, he said, I'm going to get another first round knockout Saturday night. If you know me, you know that when I say I'm going to do something, it's going to happen. One punch is all it takes. For me, I believe I'm one of the hardest punchers in boxing and the hardest puncher under 147 pounds. There's no doubt. I'm getting the first round knockout Saturday. Okay. That's from Rolly. You know, I've seen Rolly a couple of times in person, man. You know, a lot of people have, you know, to say what they want to say about him. But I'm gonna tell you, man, Rolly to me is he has some respect from me, you know, to a point, because when it comes to boxers, they be on their own mission sometime when they be in public. Well, I dropped something that rolled out maybe about 10 or 15 feet on the floor, and Rolly went and picked it up. I didn't ask him to pick it up. He went and picked him up. He saw it. He went and picked it up and gave it to me. You know, salute to Rolly, man. I appreciate that. Real talk. Gabriel Flores Jr., he said, I try to get better and better each performance. That's how I learn from my mistakes. I want to put on a great performance Saturday night. Back in 2013, I lost my mom. That was tough. It was someone I was used to seeing every day. He was used to seeing his mom every day. Once I heard about Kobe Bryant, I could only think about the rest of my family. I know part of that pain for me. This fight is for everyone who ever felt that pain. And that was Gabriel Flores Jr. Another fighter that's up and coming, still in high school. You know what I'm saying? 17 years old. So people, you can only imagine, right, what this kid have to go through. You know, the star power that he holds, that he walks with every day, going to high school knowing that he's competing on PBC cards. Like, he was out there the last time I was at the MGM for Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. He fought on that card. Very respectful. You know, his mom was sitting next to him. Very respectful. I talked to him and his team. Vito Milnecki Jr. He said, I'm balancing training in school, but I want to graduate to 6-round fights and show I'm more than just a 17-year-old prospect. I'm here to stay. Being on stage motivates me because one day I want my face to be on all the posters all over the MGM Grand. I'm really motivated to keep working hard and get the job done each and every time out. And I salute Vito, man. You know what I'm saying? To be that young, 17 years old. I think I mentioned to you earlier yesterday that Manuel Navarrete, he started boxing at 17 years old. He was 17. It's a lot of boxers that come in as teenagers. But Emmanuel Navarrete, he was 17 years old. Isaac Lowe. I have a good opponent who's only been beaten by the best. He fought world champions and qualified fighters. So this is a big step up for me. If I win and put on a good display, it's going to put me right in the mix with the top fighters. You're going to see on Saturday night that 2020 is my year. I got a worthy opponent who's going to come to win, so I'm ready, and I can't wait to show the world that I'm a world-level fighter. A world-level fighter. That's coming from Isaac Lowe. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from Isaac Lowe. Javier Molina. I feel like I have to make a statement in this fight. Just a little over a year ago, I was struggling to even get a fight. I've been active since then, so I think this fight is happening at the perfect time for me. Aman is a tough fighter, and the win gets me that much closer to a title. We prepared and ready for anything he brings to the ring. I'm glad to be in the position. I didn't think it would take this long, but we're here now. I'm going to take full advantage of this opportunity in front of a lot of eyeballs. So to caveat to that, of course, right? Amir Aman. This will put me high up in the rankings. So I'm looking forward to putting on a great show and displaying my talents. The chemistry with my team is great. We have fun, but we work really hard. I want to thank my manager for putting me in a great position, and I'm ready to put on a show. Molina is just as tall as me. He's just as quick as me, but I think I have more experience than him due to the title fight. More experience than him due to title fight. Skill wise, I believe I'm better than him as well. I know I have the power, but I'm not depending on that. I'm going to outperform him the best way and any way I can, whether that be a decision or a knockout. It's a blessing to be in that position, and I plan to take advantage of every opportunity that's put in front of me. And that was Amir Ahman. Petros Ananian said, I know my opponent has a powerful punch, but I worked hard to accomplish my dream. This is very important to me. I had a great sparring session, and I'm ready for anything that could happen in the ring. I thought I should have gotten a decision in my last fight, but Saturday I will be able to start a new winning streak. Hey, at least he had a positive outlook, on heading into that. That concludes, the sound bites, the words coming from the fighters who are competing on the undercard. That was the total undercard that's going to pop off Saturday, February 22nd, beneath the canopy of the main event, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So there you go. For those of you that tuned in, you have any questions for me, don't hesitate. Let me know what's on your mind. Of course, that's what it's all about. If you don't, I'm going to move on to let you take a peek, and we're going to go through some of this press conference. All right, people? So you see Tyson Fury walk back over there and he pushes him. He has the momentum. You see what I'm talking about? He has the momentum when he walked back over there and pushed Deontay Wilder, palms the chest. We all know that a palm the chest, vice putting your hands up under somebody's armpit and shoving them, it's a different type of thrust you're going to have, momentum, velocity, whatever you want to say. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to the actual sit down.
I said to you as well, I've marveled at how deferential the two of you have been in the lead up to this fight. You guys have shown great respect. You were well measured when we were together in LA a couple times, a month and a half ago and then a month ago. But fight week changes things clearly. Fight changes things clearly. Please, Tyson Fury.
Deontay Wilder spouting a lot of rubbish. He gave me an opportunity, did he? I give him his biggest paydays of his whole life, got him a big contract with Showtime, brought him to the biggest stage in the world, being Las Vegas, and here he is, how he thanks me. He's got a whole lot of appreciation for someone who's fed him, looked after him, and put millions in his account. Very nice person, Dave. You owe me everything. I bring you to this level. Welcome to big time boxing.
And see, check this out. What you just seen with Tyson Fury, he's a salesman. He's a mouthpiece. Dude knows how to promote a fight. Hey, we could talk about, like I hear all the babies and whiners on here, always highlighting other fighters. What Tyson did was absolutely considered distasteful. And some people's eyes, disgraceful. Because as a champion, you're supposed to have a much more lead by example for others to emulate, right? But he popped for Pez and he was on drugs and all this other stuff, and he never defended a single title. But as a fighter, that's a mouthpiece like Tyson Fury. That's why you have so many U.S. fans that gravitate to Tyson Fury, because all they want to do is hear him talk nonsense. They want to hear him talk. They want to hear him sit up here and say the same thing over again. Call somebody a dosser, call him a bum, call him any and everything, right? That's what a lot of these U.S. fans love to hear from Tyson Fury. That's why they tune in for him. You know what I'm saying? They like to hear the storytelling, just like his father, John. John is a good storyteller too, man. Serious. You know what I'm saying? And the bragging rights that Tyson Fury has is that he was knocked down and he got up. and he finished the fight. He has bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? He's the second man to go the distance with Deontay Wilder. The first one remains Tavern. You know what I'm saying? So hey, let's kick this back off.
It's his second fight on the top. He fought his number one ranked opponent, Lewis Ortiz, in his last fight. He done 300,000 buys. Against 300,000 buys in the biggest country in the world. I can fight a bomb and do 1 million views at home, you know?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I'm home, because this is the home of the Gucci King.
What did you learn about yourself with the 2 fights here in Vegas over the course of the past year?
That he could say it.
You know, I learned a lot of things. I learned that I can come here and crack the biggest country in the world and become a bigger star than their homegrown heavyweight. That's one thing I learned. I learned that I can unite 2 TV stations.
You see them talking about let's go back to that right quick. Listen to what he said.
You know, I learned a lot of things. I learned that I can come here and crack the biggest country in the world and become a bigger star than their homegrown heavyweight. That's one thing I learned. I learned that I can unite 2 TV stations, ESPN.
See, if you listen to Deontay Wilder laugh, that was funny. I ain't gonna lie, it was funny because you know he's saying he's better than the grown heavyweight. You know that's funny because Tyson Fury, that's what he does.
Some Fox pay-per-view. Unite 2 the biggest rival promoters in the world. Is there anything the Gypsy King can't do, including slap him in the mouth? Nothing I can't do. Already done it, been there, done it, wore the t-shirt 1 million times. Wilder, this is a big act for him. He's very nervous underneath. I can see his jumper going in and out with his heartbeat pounding out of his chest. Terrified.
You believe he's
Terrified.
nervous right now?
He's nervous. He's nervous as hell. He don't know what to expect. He doesn't know what to expect, and he's getting knocked out.
Stand up, man. That's what you
Knocked out.
So just for a break, you know, in the action with Tyson Fury, he's been yelling this knockout. You see how he's dressed? You know, he has the jacket on. He's representing. He's catering to the Vegas crowd. You know, with Vegas up there, he has the hoodie on with the baseball cap with shades. You know, it may be many variables to what's going on. You know, it might be the cut. You see a little abrasion on his lip. We don't know exactly why he's all layered up like that, because he really don't have to make weight. He just have to come in at weight. Whatever the scales show, that's what it is. But we don't know if that cut is a problem. You know, he don't want people to see. He don't want any commission to see the cut. Black eye, any type of signs that, you know, of the show medically he may not be clear for this fight. I don't know, but he's layered up pretty good. You know, let's get back to it.
bro. When I knock you out, go do stand-up comedy, bro. You got a career in there. You got a career in there.
And when I knock you out, you're gonna be doing nothing apart from begging me for a rematch.
Just do that. You got a British accent, and that's what they laugh. They're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. Because of your accent, you goofy, you're a big mama. You know what I'm saying? You're a big, goofy, big mama.
You quite don't understand what you're saying because you speak English.
That's what
you know. So you speak in English right now.
So you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, you know the saying, what's understood don't have to be explained.
See, check this out. That's how, you know, Tyson Fury comes with the game. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury basically said, okay, you're talking about a British accent, but, you know, it's English. You know what I'm saying? It's English. It just has a different dialect to it, accent or whatever. And, you know, their delivery is different. But Tyson Fury is saying, you know, you're speaking English too. So what's going on? What you trying to say? I mean, he is a mouthpiece, man. He's a thinker in there, especially when it comes to him addressing the crowd.
Because February 22nd, your body gonna be laying.
I do want to ask you something about your
like it was before,
just like that. But this time around, you ain't getting up because I brought my 6-foot-inch nails and I brought a big hammer from Alabama, baby.
6-foot-inch nails and a big hammer from Alabama.
I'm gonna knock you, Spark.
6-foot nail. So right here, you see Tyson Fury getting out of his seat again. He might just be a little bit agitated, exasperated, annoyed. You know what I'm saying? for him to get out the seat like he did.
Yeah.
Keep on throwing him across that ring.
Sit there. You don't believe none of the words that you say. You can't punch. I don't know what you talking about. Knocking somebody in the second round. You ain't never knocked nobody in no second round. You got pillows for fists. That's why I kept running.
Pillows for fists.
Because you can't.
When the bell rings Saturday night, is it simply round 13? Do you just pick up where the two of you left off?
Yes, indeed.
Get that mic here.
Yes, indeed. It's unfinished business, like I said. We're definitely picking up where we left off. I mean, he just changed his game. He didn't change his whole team, and he even changed up everything. So I can't speak for him, but I'm definitely picking up what I left off at, and more calmer, patient, and devastating fashion.
You got it. Go ahead, Tyson.
Yeah, round 12 was a good round. Credit to Wilder. He got me with two of the best punches I've ever seen thrown in a 12-round heavyweight fight. And as we've seen, it's been very, very famous. The old knockdown of the Gypsy King has been very, very, very active online and all over the world. But the thing that Wilder must be thinking is, I hit that guy with my best two punches I can ever throw.
See, Tyson Fury talking about he hit that guy with the best two punches he can ever throw. You have to understand that the punch was thrown in the 12th round. Not many fighters can basically turn over power in the 12th round, like Deontay Wilder. So, you have to credit it, Deontay turning over his power in the 12th round. That's all I'm saying. You have to give him that advantage in being able to turn over his power and drop someone the size of Tyson Fury that's pretty versatile, had pretty good footwork while he was in there.
Round 12, and he got up. What have I got to do to keep him down?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more.
And that is that. So there you go, people. I just wanted to touch bases on that. Just give you some sound bites from the final presser. The weigh-ins, of course, they're going to be dropping in tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be exciting, of course. Can we expect some fireworks from some of the fighters on there? It's not going to be turned up like Tony Harrison and Jamel Charlo. The only fight that I can see on this card that may have some intensity during the weigh-in might be Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Rolly might give some intensity. Emmanuel Navarrete, Jail Santismio, I don't think they're going to be the type of fighters that really turn up and give the crowd that extra freaking attention. I don't see it happening. I just don't see too much of that going on, man, unless it's Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. And even that, I don't think it's going to be over the top. I don't think, either fighter is going to use that unnecessary energy like they did the first time around. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Just gonna put a comment up there. Hey, drop your comments. Y'all need to be more turned up than this, man. This World Combat Sports, y'all. Man, come on. I know it's 10 o'clock, but the way I looked at it, look, I always looked at it like this. When Thursday come around, Thursday really is when you start your weekend. I'm not saying going out, so to speak, but it was a point in time where, yeah, my weekend started on Thursday. Seriously, that's the way I treated it. Like, I made sure all the work was tidied up, man. Everything was cool. I wasn't falling behind. I started preparing for the weekend. If it's Thursday and you head into Friday, come on, man, the weekend is here. It's just a simulated thought process. They gave you Saturday and Sunday, and you're supposed to get that time off. That's the way you look at it. That's all you got to think about. People need to understand that if you in your younger years, if you ain't freaking, I would say 45 yet, you shouldn't be taking naps. I would tell you, look, I understand that you got a hard job because it's some people out there that got some hard jobs. Real talk. It's some people out here that's really working for a living. They really breaking their back for a living. Real talk. The military was a backbreaker. It's a lot of things we did in there that you didn't get paid by the hour. It's day on, stay on some of the time. A lot of the times that you working in the military, especially when you deploy, you working overtime and not even getting paid for it. You're on a salary by your rank. So just think about it. At a lower rank, being extremely broke, and you working all these hours, you're not getting any extra pay. And then you hear people say, well, don't complain about it because that's what you signed up for. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. It's fight week. I just thought I'll touch bases on, World Combat Sports, man. When y'all drop in through the channel, put some comments in there, man. We can talk boxing. Shit. Hashtag no keyboard. Let's go. Let's talk some boxing, man. Get it in. That's what it's about. Get it in. Nasty weather outside. Raining for no damn reason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. We supposed to dry all that up. Talk about this boxing that's going down in Vegas. Let me get to I wasn't going to talk too much on it because I haven't finished writing my article up. But I was going to touch bases on how people are freaking, in my opinion, the only term that I can say relatable to people that's cliche a little bit is fence riding. Why, when all the moment that we had after the fight leading up to about 3 weeks before this fight date, people was like speaking heavy on the fighter that they support, right? If they supported Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury gonna go in there and defeat Deontay Wilder. If it's Deontay Wilder, he's gonna win this fight, no problem, this, that, and the other. And of course, we had the back and forth dilemma, who actually won the first fight. Just like we had Saul Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. The first time out, people had an issue with who really won, right? That's real talk. You know what it is. It's fact. So why am I hearing so many media? They hop on here just to, man, I'm telling you, this puppetizing that goes on with people putting freaking titles out here, and them to support one fighter, but it's the closer you get the fight date, they want to put it out there as if they supporting the other fighter, just so people can tune in and say, huh, what's this? So-and-so's having a change of plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the people who don't play like that, like I usually don't do that. I'm not going to sit on here and say, well, Tyson Fury, he's looking. If I believe Tyson Fury is going to win this fight, I would have said that long time ago. Okay, my pick is Tyson Fury winning this fight. I'm not going to do it for views and say, well, I think Tyson Fury, he's coming in at 270. Deontay Wilder is not. I'll be going against my integrity because I respect doing research about a particular fighter and assessing their performance last time. And then that's how I gauge the results that I put out to the media. I gauge my input. And not one time have I said, okay, Tyson Fury is going to win this fight. That doesn't mean he can't. I'm just saying I've been for Deontay Wilder winning this fight because he is the hardest puncher. He has an underrated ring IQ. He can punch with both hands. Whenever he chooses, I believe he would be able to use his jab this fight much more. His movement should be a lot more flexible in the ring. You know what I'm saying? He should have a much more mobile game plan this time around and not just be stationary and loading up on his punches. He's not going to be able to do that with a Tyson Fury who's already been in there with him the first time. And those of you boxing fans, supporters, even the casuals, do your research. How many fighters have Tyson Fury rematched? Check into it. Check and see how many fighters Tyson Fury has rematched in his career. Give me the percentage of his rematches. Give me the percentage of Deontay Wilder's rematch. So there's a whole lot of um, dynamics that you can put together when you gauge in the metrics on who you're going to go for. Retros for life. Salute World CS. Talk that talk, bro. I appreciate it, man. For life. Thank you for dropping in. Real talk. Salute to you. I appreciate that. But check the rematch clause, man. Check not the rematch clause, but check the rematch percentage of which heavyweight fighters rematched his opponents and who haven't. And then you have to say to yourself, okay, Tyson Fury saying he's going in here, he's going to stop Deontay Wilder. Well, if he's saying he's going to stop Deontay Wilder in 2 rounds, let's go back in his career on who has he stopped in 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And the fighters that he stopped, if it's some that's out there, what's the percentage? How many is it? That's all I'm saying. Because everybody that Deontay Wilder's fought, he's dropped. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, including Bermain Stavern on the rematch. So we got to give him that knockout ratio. We have to understand that is official. His knockout power is official. Now, when you come to Tyson Fury talking about you're going to knock somebody out in 2 rounds, that's not official. Especially if we've seen Deontay Wilder get hurt before. He's been hurt. When everybody was hooping and hollering, this is it. This is what we've been talking about. Luis Ortiz got it. He's going to be the first. No, hold up. What? Oh, shoot. 20 seconds left. Oh, man. 10 seconds left. Oh, he survived. Oh, shoot, man. People start doubling back. But I don't understand why some of the media is just jumping sides, man, like a pogo stick. Stick with who you want to stick with. Commit to who you want to win. Commit to it. Don't do this media stuff where you're saying, well, I'm gonna do it for influence. I'm gonna basically, clickbait as they call it, or you're gonna be disingenuous about what you truly, the fighter that you truly are going for. You're gonna be disingenuous or pretentious, put on a facade and say, well, I've been supporting Deontay Wilder, but closer to the fight, I want to put it out there more so in the favor of Fury so more people can gravitate to the channel. I see a lot of that going on right now. I guess that's the tech world we live in. I guess that's the social media community on the behavior that we got going on. It's not a bad thing. It's whatever works. It's not bad. But I'm just saying it kind of violates the code for some people. Because you expect them to be freaking genuine and stick to the damn the gear shift, not throwing that shit in reverse all the time, when they come up to a fight and try to throw people off. You know what I'm saying? Trying to act like it's a fork in the road, and it isn't. No, you stay in your lane, pick the fighter that you want, and keep it moving. That's all. You know how to come up here and act like you swerving all over the road and all your tires are good. You ain't running on a flat. What you doing? It's up to both fighters to go in there and win. I can sit up here and say Deontay Wilder gonna win all day. That doesn't mean he's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Retro for Life said 79 boxing, only one I think Fury rematch was Chisora, which was a snooze fest. And you take the fight on how many. I'm really, I should have had more clarification, but I meant rematch to the point where the level of his rematch was the magnitude on the championship level, or to a point where he had rematches in his career. But appreciate the input there, Retro for Life. Shout out to Marcus, Ohio Run Boxing in the building. What's good with you, man? What's good? Salute, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow Ohio Run Boxing, man. He got some hilarious freaking. I'm gonna tell you, he'll freaking mastermind with that damn Photoshop, man. That shit crazy, yo. He just put I just seen a vid you put out there of Tyson Fury, one of his older fights when he got hurt. You know, because a lot of people sit up here and talk about Deontay Wilder, you know, when he got dropped in the amateurs against Robinov, right? They always talk about that. Robinov is like 14-0 right now. Robinov fought Wilder in the AMs, and he did drop him a couple of times, I believe, right? But now you look at Wilder's record being 42-0, and Robinov, I think Robinov is sitting at like 14-0 right now. I mean, two different paths of career, two different fighters. If Robinov would have stepped in there, ain't nobody talking about, oh, well, Robinov dropped Wilder in the amateurs. Let's make that fight happen. You know, nobody talking about that. Hey, what's your prediction there, Marcus? Ohio Run Boxing. What's your predictions, bro? It don't even have to be just the main event, man. I know you dig into the undercards too, man. What you think about Navarrete, man, going in there against Leo Santismia? You know, what you think about that fight? And then Sebastian Fundora taking on Daniel Lewis. Navarrete talking about if he don't get the unification bout, he moving up to featherweight, bro. Can you imagine how that's going to shake up some things? You already know who's sitting at featherweight. Come on, man. You already know who's sitting at featherweight. If Navarrete make that move up to featherweight, he's going to get a big name right off the bat. Let me tell you who at featherweight that'll make a good fight with Emmanuel Navarrete. All right. So featherweight, we're looking at Gary Russell Jr., WBC, of course. Leo Santa Cruz, WBA. Josh Warrington, IBF, title holder. And then, of course, you got Newark, New Jersey's own Shakur Stevenson, WBO title holder. Man, I'm telling you, any one of those fights, man, if he moves up real soon, he's going to shake up something. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. Real talk. If he goes up there and he get ranked, you know you have Jesse Magnolino. He's due for his fight coming up, I believe in March. His brother Diego told me he has a fight coming up, Jesse Magnolino. But any one of them champions, man, will make a good fight for Emmanuel Navarrete. Ohio Run Boxing say, bro, I can't commit like I want to because my boss watching. Okay. All right. It's all good. I'm listening. I will break down my picks later. Okay. For sure. I got you. I meant to comment. It's all good, man. But that featherweight division, man, Shakur Stevenson, Josh Warrington, Leo Santa Cruz, and Gary Russell. You know, the one thing we know about Leo Santa Cruz, he is talking about trying to get that fight with Gervonta Davis. You know, that we know. And also Gary Russell Jr. A couple of these titles may be vacated. Gary Russell Jr. is saying if he can't get the fight with Leo Santa Cruz and so forth, he's talking about moving up. And a point that Gary Russell made was he ain't moving up to 130. He moving up to 135 because it ain't really nobody 130 that appeases him. You know, them Russell brothers, them Russell families, their thought process is on an intellectual thesis. You know what I'm saying? The way they think about things, it is a method to the madness. He said nobody at 130 does anything for him. Miguel Burchett, Leo Santa Cruz, Joseph Diaz, Jamel Herring. He said nobody at 130 do it for him. You even got Oscar Valdez over there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. Carl Frampton, Oscar Valdez would be a pretty decent fight for Gary Russell, but he don't see it that way. But when you move up to 135, of course you got the Vasily Lomachenko's, Devin Haney's, Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta Davis, Jan Mendy, Lee Selby. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot at 135. To be honest, right now, the hottest division, right now as we speak, in my opinion, is 135. Because sitting down in the ranking lineup, you do have the Javier Fortuna, Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcias. You have Robert Easter. You know what I'm saying? Who I tried my best this past weekend to get an interview with, but he was with Adrian Broner. Robert Easter's cool, but you know, Adrian Broner, them, they move, and they don't be doing too much talking or whatever. But it would have been great to get that fight. I mean, get that interview. You got Robert Easter, Jorge Linares, and then you have Lee Selby, and then all the way on the WBO side, you know, Selby again. I mean, we really need, we have a deep enough division, the 135 lightweights, to do some damage, you know, to make some good fights. You know what I'm saying? So look forward to that. But the Navarrete is talking about moving up to featherweight division. I don't know how long some of these fighters are going to be there. Like Lil Santa Cruz, how long is he going to campaign at 126? You know what I'm saying? He's up here in WBA junior lightweight. How long is Gary Russell going to stay down there? Because Gary Russell said he's trying to be active. He just came off with Nambayar. You know, he gave him an L. Nambayar gets in the post-fight press conference and say, oh, Gary Russell don't hit that hard. And Gary Russell say, I hit hard enough to beat him. I won that fight. You know, that's what I'm talking about, man. And then you got Josh Warrington. How long are these fighters going to be down there? Shakur Stevenson. I know he just won this title not too long ago, but how long are they going to be down in that featherweight division before they talk about moving up? Because I'm going to tell you, I believe wholeheartedly Shakur Stevenson is definitely going to be a fast track like his compeer, Carissa Shields, for real. I believe if he's not going to unify, I know he's been calling out Josh Warrington. And if that fight's happen, WBO for the IBF, you know, for unification, if he unifies, I'm not sure if he's going to stay there for the undisputed, man. I think he may indeed move up to 130 and put in work. Because that division right there is for the taking. Seriously. You have fighters that's champions that's leaving one division and moving up to the #1 ranking in the next division. You know what I'm saying? Like Oscar Valdez, he used to be the IBF champion. You know, he's sitting at #1 in the WBC at 130. And then you look at the way they did with Alexander Usyk, took him out of cruiserweight as a unified and moved him up there at the WBA #1 ranking. They're moving so many fighters out of one ranking system, out of one division, out of that ranking system as a champion, and placing them directly at the top of the food chain without even actually fighting the ones who already been campaigning there for quite some time. Seriously. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talk. What's good? What's good? Salute, man. Thanks for dropping in. But that's the round table that we're looking at, man. Any one of y'all want to donate to the channel, man, it's down there for you. You know, I got my first donation yesterday. I was stoked. But y'all want to donate to the channel, y'all feel I've been out here work. If you don't, just look at my YouTube. You know, it's only going to get better. I was actually into some today. You know, this is going to be real big. You know, for a lot of y'all, I am a part of the USF MMA, the amateur mixed martial arts that's going to be attending the Olympics. And I am a writer for them. I know you don't hear too much about it, but it is. You know, it came out a while ago, but I still run my own thing, though. You know, I still run my own social media outlet, my own vehicle, and that's what it is. But I'm with USF MMA. Shout out to them. And I'm really looking forward to working with them. And also, for those of you that go to regional cards, Andrew Stokes is having a bout in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, next weekend. Be sure to check that out. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Ohio Run Boxing, man. Thank you for the support, man. Thank you for the donation. Real talk. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Appreciate the ones, that lend support, and I would do exactly the same. It's real talk. So for the undercard and everything, I think it's gonna be fairly exciting. It's gonna be some sleepers on there. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think Charles Martin and Gerald Washington, I don't think it's going the distance. But I'm the one that thought it would be a knockout, an early knockout when he fought Andy Konoski, but it wasn't. So I'm thinking with Gerald Washington, man, how dedicated he is to actually working for a title run. I don't see Gerald Washington being as more attuned to go on a title run than I see Charles Martin. Because the last time I was out there for Wilder Ortiz, I had the opportunity to talk to Charles Martin. He seemed more dedicated now, in my opinion. I'm not going to I'm not going to say the big check he received previously, the money might be, in a reservoir that's dry at the bottom. The well might be dry with that monetary liquid, but he's back in the game, man. He's been taking it serious, and this is for a title eliminator, so we'll see. They're the co-main event. And then, of course, you have Navarrete against Antismia, and then Fundora against Lewis. The height advantage, like I mentioned yesterday, Fundora is just tremendous. But, Daniel Lewis might be a banger, man. He might be a jackhammer in there on the inside. You never know. You never know, y'all. But we'll see. But this is the biggest fight. We're still waiting for the weigh-ins tomorrow. I'll definitely be back on here for the weigh-ins because the weigh-ins is 6:00 p.m. Yeah, that'll be West Coast time. You know that. I'm surprised they having them at 6:00 over there because I remember last time I think the weigh-ins was around 3 something. But since the magnitude of this fight, man, there's no telling what they have going on. You know what I'm saying? All the media and everything. I'm pretty sure it's pretty chaotic over there. All the people usually start flocking in on Thursday. I'm pretty sure it's lit right now. A lot is going on. And I'm not sure why they holding the weigh-ins at 6:00 p.m. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know. Seriously. Also, that was mentioned yesterday about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao. You have Terrence Crawford with Top Rank. Manny Pacquiao's with PBC right now, I think, right? Because Manny Pacquiao's not with Top Rank. But it'd be good if Terrence Crawford can fight Manny Pacquiao, WBO, WBA, unification battle, welterweight division. The reason being because this is a fight that we've been trying to see. In order for it to get that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder energy, that mecca, that thriller type, bring everybody out to support. It would be good if you had the WBC IBF champion, Errol Spence Jr., and the WBO, WBA welterweight champion, Terrence Crawford, fighting for undisputed on one night, one face, one champion. That'd be outstanding. Believe me. People come out and see it. We don't know if it will have the energy such as a fight like this. You know what I'm saying? This magnitude, respect, and the energy that it's getting, but it would do fairly decent. And of course, Errol Spence, in a sense, is going to talk A side, and we might see it having somewhere that benefits him in his hometown for sure. But I hope that happens because I don't see Manny Pacquiao defeating Terrence Bud Crawford. Nah. And look, we still don't know who Errol Spence is fighting, on his comeback. We don't know that. But shout out to Caleb Plant coming off that win against Vincent Figgenboots. You know what I'm saying? It was a clinic, one-way clinic. You know what it is. It was a one-way clinic. It ain't no saucing that up, man. Caleb Plant went in there and delivered. And he had the crowd on their feet, cheering them on. And to think about it, like Gervonta Davis came down here to Atlanta, right? And though this is his second home, I felt like Caleb Plant being in Nashville, that was his first fight. I went to Baltimore fight and I went to Atlanta fight. The crowd in Atlanta for Gervonta Davis wasn't as hype as Caleb Plant in Nashville. Now, comparing both of their home, I'm talking about their home soil, their footprint. Baltimore vice Nashville. I don't know, man. I kind of give that to Nashville. Seriously. I don't know, man. That crowd was lit for the hometown fighter. Real talk. Michael Johnson Boxing Talk said Manny signed a deal with the same folks that managed McGregor. You talking about I have to do a little bit of reading up on that. But I thought Manny Pacquiao was over there with a different promotion. We'll see. You know, I don't know for sure, but I'll have to check that out, man. Thanks for the input, for sure. For sure. But besides that, man, that's about all I got, man. You know, I'm not gonna get on the UFC tonight, Bellator, but I did talk to a champion that's in Bellator right now that's getting ready to try to become a champion in the second division. And I should be able to give you an interview sometime next week with him again. You know, but he's a current welterweight Bellator champion. So I'm looking forward. I don't want to, you know, put it out there just yet because I don't know. I don't like giving names out there for an interview, because if it doesn't happen, then people start saying, well, you just putting information out there and you're not. But most of the time when I say I'm gonna get an interview, I'm gonna get an interview. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is mixed martial arts. So therefore, the grind never stops. I'm definitely digging in a little bit deeper here locally with mixed martial arts because I know it, but my only barrier is I haven't been able to breach the perimeters and going to the schools, because MMA, in my opinion, have a different type of network. Like they very sketchy about letting media in because there's so many facets to the game. Look, I'm telling you, if you never watch mixed martial artists train, I'm talking about at the top tier school, it's unbelievable what these cats be doing. Like, it's unbelievable training. Like them working on the feet with hands, then kicks, hands and kicks, combinations, working off their back, working from the top position, working climbing the wall, you know, like it's the cage. Freaking working submissions, getting out of submissions, transitions, working takedowns, freaking working on left and right kick, your dominant, less dominant side. Man, it's just so much that goes on in mixed martial arts training, man. That them guys was getting worked. That's what I was trying to tell somebody about freaking Amanda Nunes. They may have shin guards on, but they still taking kicks to the rib. That hurts. I mean, I was seeing cats kind of folding over today watching training, and they had shin guards, and we're talking about high level striker giving it to this guy. He wasn't showing him up, but it was a high impactive training, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. It is tough, man. But that's all I got. And be sure to follow me on all social media networks. You know what it is. For all of you that turned in, you know, Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More, Ohio Run Boxing, man. You know, it's always, you know, an invite to talk that boxing, bro. Salute. Retros for Life. GB Boxing, Dion Washington. You know, all y'all that tuned in today. It'll get better. It's going to come a time where it's going to be many more. But I always tell you, the amount of people that I got, I would rather them be boxing fans that talk boxing rather than have freaking, you know, 300 or 400 people and a lot of them trolling, you know. So it is, you know, it is what it is right now because I talk boxing and MMA. It's all good. It's all good. It's the quality, sometimes not the quantity. So subscribe to the channel, man. Pass the word. I appreciate everybody for stopping through. And Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.